3, 2. Welcome to another exciting episode of Masked or Not with your wonderful heroes, Puddles the Water Being,
Drip drop, I'm at the shop.
Spencer the Super Cat,
Drip drop, she's at the shop.
Jace the Technomancer,
So if I take the skin off this animatronic,
Transient the Meta Manipulator,
Am I gonna have to update our walls again to make sure Spencer doesn't break through them?
please.
oh goodness. Last time we were here, Spencer had managed to make contact with the Navajo tribesmen as well as the Shohoan tribesmen who were both celebrating their collective tribe election of the tribal leader, Emmanuel Collins, and were enjoying some time to themselves. Jace, in the meantime, was double checking and working on finding a new workaround for the belt's terrible feedback scenario every time in use, coming up with a unique battery pack to help disengage the system once it overcharges the battery. Within that time, Edward and Wilda were having personal discussions until Spencer came back and revealed that Wilda's soul has a crack in it, especially after they were sitting on the medical exam table. Wilda was given anesthetics, and the diagnosis was being taken at the time. Goodness, I'm crumbling already.
You're good.
6.5 hours till the wedding. Spencer is able to take Wilda and Edward over towards the Shohoan and Navajo tribe to meet with a spirit healer who could help with the crack in Wilda's soul. Jace, in the meantime, is trying to keep passerbyers away, including that of Ramon and Officer Streisand. Luckily, with the quick wit of convincing them that he is turning his shop turning the old Chuck E. Cheese shop into a video game store, he was able to keep the base hidden from sight. Upon arrival to the Shoshone and Navajo tribe, the group was able to meet with Dr. Amsday, who asked Wilda, after a quick assessing, if she understood what and how her soul is made. Puddles, do you have a response?
I believe the question was, do you know about gods?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. What do you know of gods? That was the last question, wasn't it?
My father says that Heimdall watches over us, but I don't believe him.
Your father says what?
That Heimdall watches over us.
Will admits that Cyrus is a pagan worshiper. I'm joking. So Heimdall, right?
Yes, Heimdall.
Could you please spell that?
Heimdal.
He is the son of Odin and 9 wives.
Heimdall the All-Seeing.
Yes.
This is a terrible opening salvo for how my brain's working tonight, but I just imagine, what if in this universe Heimdall was the only correct option, like he's the one that exists, and then no one else from Asgard exists, just Heimdall?
I have such a sick way to twist that, and you guys are gonna hate me if I do so.
Fucking do it, you coward.
What are you talking about? There's one other one that's going to exist because literally the world burns and he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Balder.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that it's only Heimdall. There's never been any others. There's no origin to Heimdall. It's just Heimdall.
So Dr. Amsey actually chuckled That was also the first time I've ever witnessed a white person made to a different god other than God or Jesus.
Well, I'm more spiritualist than anything.
I've met plenty of agnostic person myself. There's no worries.
Right. I'm currently in the scene, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes, you are currently sitting right next to her, holding her hand, and Spencer isn't too far away, dancing with some of the children still as the celebration is still going. Though his cat-like ears is able to keep up with the conversation here.
I'm busting a move, but I'm not losing my groove.
Uh, in truth, from how the spirits sing, many gods actually cross the lands here. All still seek to claim ownership over the land, but none have been able to truly keep it. But the land and its people are quite mixed. Still, most of the gods do trade often. As the story will tell, there have been many talks of how the spirits of fire will trade energy with the spirits of the woods. Why? That's why California always lights a flame every so summer. Oh, terrible joke. Now, how well do you believe in your god Heimdall?
Not much. As I said, I think my dad's full of shit.
Well, the ways of the spirits are a bit different than the ways of real life. And having a strong belief is like having a strong rope, especially if you're going to be visiting the other side.
Visiting the other side?
Well, while it can help with the soul, in order to find the proper fragment to repair it with, you will need to make a personal journey. I'm not telling you that you'll have to walk here. And if your friends are willing to go with you, you won't walk it alone. That I can at least guarantee.
I look over to Edward.
Mm, yeah, I'll join her. I've kind of already met mine anyways.
Ah, may I ask who your god is?
The over-encompassing concept of truth.
Hmm, that is acceptable. And may your truth be as strong as iron and as flexible as a tether. Doug
I'm
Spencer.
less,
Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
less talking about the deity, he whose concept is truth. I'm talking about the conceptual being known as truth.
Hmm. Yeah, forgive me. Is this is dealing with science?
Maybe?
I I see. Well, is at least your faith with it strong. I'll take your silence as a yes. The doctor will look over towards the dancing Spencer and give a short whistle to try to catch his attention.
The
Spencer.
whistle is enough to catch his attention. said that? Huh? Oh, sorry.
Forgive me, young. Shoot, whatever. What did we agree your name was again?
Spencer.
Trav? Was it Spencer?
You could be. I believe it was Brother Spencer, but if you want to give me a nickname that's somewhat Indian, Native American related, you can try. Oh, wasn't it Brother Eagle or something? I don't know.
No. One of the people you know here is Brother Eagle.
It was Brother
So,
Spencer the last time, so
So, Brother Spencer, please.
I will excuse myself from the dancing children and make my way over.
Your friends are about to embark on a spiritual journey. Would you like to join them and help be their guide?
Yeah, sure. It sounds fun.
Wonderful. Please, sit right here. There's no need for you.
He's gonna sit down.
As you sit right next to Wilda. Wilda, you're propped up to sit, and Transient, you're right next. You're on her other. You're still haven't moved. Right next to her.
I'm still right next to her.
Now, it's not going to be too difficult. I'll need you to hold these sages here. As he hands you a couple of unlit sages.
You mean a smudge stick or something?
Yes. Smudge sticks. Thank you.
I will hold one in my mouth. Spencer might like the taste of sage.
Ah, Brother Spencer, always the fun prankster, aren't you?
Just he's not eating it. He's just kind of holding it in his mouth because his other two hands are holding the other two.
No, Spencer, don't eat it. It could upset your tummy.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
How?
I'm looking
Yeah,
it up.
You've seen how much he's eaten. You've seen what he's eaten. I'm not entirely sure there's a thing alive that can, or dead,
Wait,
that can damage his stomach.
I love the idea. It Spencer's like, oh, and his tail comes up and holds the bunch of sage. I had an idea, so I used my tail instead.
Well, I mean, in cats it can cause vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and lethargy.
Spencer blinks asymmetrically.
In normal cats, right?
And normal cats. Yes.
As he's looking at Spencer.
Ah, well, it's alright. That should work there. Now, please hold still while I. Spencer, please look straight forward. Please.
Spencer looks straight forward after going cross-eyed for a moment.
Thank you. As he lights the smudge sticks and wafts it enough to where it's only smoldering and releasing a smoke. He goes over to Wilda's smudge stick, lights that, and allows her to put it to let it smolder before going over to Transient, lighting his. Smoke coalescence around you guys and starts enveloping. You hear him speak a prayer in his language. I am not going to attempt to make a prayer right now. So on the simple basis, it's a protection prayer, speaking to his god Wankatanka, and asking safe guidance for these spirits, and asking that an angel of each of your guys' holy figures come by to help. And at the end of it, you see him pull out this powder from from this pouch that he carries around his neck.
Oh gosh.
And after lighting one more flame, he blows the powder into the flame, there was a blue mist that swirls around you all as you breathe in deeply. You feel your eyes somewhat get heavy as the music starts becoming somewhat distant, but you don't pass out. The music becomes distant, but it starts filling more, and there's more music going around. The talking and conversation that was, just happening close by to your guys' general rights side, where everyone was partying, has now grown to almost all around you you as you attempt to take in your new surroundings. Meanwhile, back over at Jace, who's currently double checking his work, double checking his bolts, finally snapping. That's the pneumatic bite mechanism. What kind of the animatronic skeleton that you are currently messing with continues to not twist properly as you try to pull the skin off. I take it that's what you were doing?
I'm trying to slowly take it apart, but to get to the bits that I need to remove, I have to take the skin off.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Strength
it off.
check. I'm not ripping it off, I'm removing it.
Okay, my apologies. Dexterity.
I'm not a savage. This thing is meant to be taken apart and disassembled for the purposes of maintenance and such like that. There's no way you'd need to rip it off to get to the interior workings, but let's see. Dexterity. All right. Just straight dexterity, or is there sleight, or what am I going for here?
Just straight dexterity.
All right.
I mean, double check your sleight of hand.
I mean, it's the exact same as my dexterity, which I will change in future.
Either or, your choice.
16.
It takes a good 10 to 15 minutes as you pry most of the fake fur off of the mouse mascot. The metallic skeleton underneath just giving this awkward smiling attempt as you remove the cheeks.
Why did they ever think these would appeal to children? Anyways, he's going to, first and foremost, step back and kind of look it over to make sure there's no, old rusted joints that will snap shut on him as he's trying to take this thing apart. He doesn't want to get hurt.
As you are looking at it, taking it in, Scrooge steps up beside you, and it's mostly from the fur costume, from what I understand. Normally, when they're dancing and happy with a person behind it, it's more approachable. But I don't know whose idea was to put robots in them.
Yeah, and that's got to be like a money sink, anyways, right?
Daniel comes out from the hallway. Originally, I could have sworn it was a proper gimmick, before every other place started doing their gimmicks. And then there was Peter Piper Pizza with their freaking Hall of Games. Then you had freaking, what was it? Domino's just doing easy delivery. Everyone has their own gimmick. Chuck E. Cheese just prefer to have a rat.
I mean, the rat is not what I'm questioning. Having a mascot's fine. Why do they choose to have mascots that would drain most of the funding when you can just have someone wear a costume?
I'm not wearing a costume.
I said rat, Spencer, rat.
But rat is close to cat. Switch of one letter.
No, Spencer, we're not talking about cats. We're talking about rats.
Are we going to learn about rats?
Why is Spencer talking to you when he should be going to an ethereal dimension?
I'm sorry, I just love that the narrator's like, get back in your panel, Spencer. Oops, sorry.
Breaking my walls here.
I don't know. Didn't he get a duplicate power?
Don't.
Not yet.
Don't start.
Spencer 6, back to the lab.
Bravo 6, back to the lab.
Anyways. All right, so...
Gotta have to do what
Gotta
else is-
take this joint off first. And he goes to detach the joint and is like, now hopefully nothing bad will happen. If something bad does happen, I am probably going to fly backwards. Whoever made this thing really overtuned the pneumatics, because I'm pretty sure you could crunch a steel bar in that thing's jaw the way it's currently set up.
Well, verily. Well, hopefully, it's not gonna. You don't think these things will come alive, right?
I mean, I haven't made them come alive yet.
I mean, with how old these things are, I don't know. They get spooky to me sometimes. This is Daniel saying it. Stringent gives no emotional response, going, "You're overreacting."
I mean, would you feel better, respectfully, Daniel, if we melted it down and then had new ones reforged out of it so that you can, like, purge it if there's any ghosts in there? Or have Spencer look at it and see if there's any ghosts in there?
Perhaps. I'll go start the fire pit as you watch him wander away. That's when you
You
hear
seem-
more knocking on the door.
Okay. I will roll back over to the door, poke my head out. Hello?
At the door, there's a group of young lads around your age, all different, gruff looking, different clothing, all grungy, but keeping one thing in common. All are carrying bats. Hey! I heard someone just picked up some place in our turf. Starting to get too active. Who's you?
I fully open the door so they can see I'm crippled.
Shit, boss,
Hi.
Shit, boss, somebody already broke his legs before us. Don't start. He still has irons.
Hi. My name's Jace. Or can I do something for you fellas? Is something wrong?
You can get out. This is our turf. No one buys this Chuck E. Cheese. We've run out the past 3 guys that's tried to renovate this. We're the Rat Man Gang.
Like that rat, and I will move out of the way and point at the skinless, horrible Chuck E. Cheese.
Chucky, no!
Yeah,
He's
that thing's a serious safety hazard. Like I'm kind of scared that something's gonna happen if I don't disassemble it. Like honestly, I'm kind of scared it's gonna start moving at some point, and I will use animate machines to have it start moving on its own.
I need to make a series of rolls. Give me 1 second.
Oh my god, it starts busting a move.
Like I've turned off all the power
Horror
cells and
show.
everything, so it shouldn't be able to work on its own. But then it starts moving.
I love the idea that he doesn't use animate machines at all, it just starts moving.
Yeah, it is moving on its own. That's not good. Just traumatizing a bunch of high schoolers.
I infinitely love the idea that they're not traumatized. They're just like, it's like, boss, we knew this day would come, and they start beating it to death with baseball bats.
We've spent the last 2 years of our lives preparing to fight the devil rat.
Robot devil rat, we knew you would come.
I mean, if you guys are gonna have a boss fight, can you like take it outside and do the whole Streets of Rage thing, just not in my property?
Get off my lawn, you crazy kids.
Chase, did you just literally say, take this outside?
Yes. If they're gonna have a boss fight with a mechanical rat, do it outside. I love the idea of Ramon and the police officer coming back to seeing a bunch of delinquents having us throw down with a mechanical rat.
You have gained 9 followers.
Quick, you have a BlackBerry, which means you have a camera, which means you can record stuff.
The
I
first
mean, in
ever
fairness, I
street
can do
fight.
that with Rockin' Prime, and I'm sitting on him.
The best
Use
rat
my
cop
wheelchair.
street fight this time, this east of Compton.
I can't wait for that early internet ridiculousness of just a low quality video of 4 delinquents fighting a fucking mechanical rat.
It's actually 9 delinquents at the door, all of them staring at you as you animate this skinless Chuck E. Cheese who comes hopping and dancing grip style towards them.
Jason's
it's
gonna
beautiful.
slowly roll backwards out of the way as the rat menacingly dances towards the boys.
Just start. Oh my god. Start doing the mashed potato towards them.
These are all going to be separated, but I'm rolling them as a lump, so ignore the total. 2 are absolutely shitting their pants. So
None of them rolled above a 14.
1 did. 1 rolled a 14 on the dot.
And 2 of them got nat 1s.
Only one of them got above a 10. 2 of them got 10, but only one of them got above a 10.
He's
So-
doing the stanky leg. Run away.
Let's see. 2 of the 9 group there, 2 of them absolutely just drop the bats and start fleeing. The boss in front of you, the one we'll say that got the 14, is going, hold your city ground. Hold your ground, city. Stand your ground, men. Quit shaking your boots. He's just a robot. We are men. 16-year-old.
If you guys are gonna fight the robot, can you take it outside, please? I feel like that'll be a better demonstration of whatever you're doing for the public.
Good idea, crippled kid.
I will do that after they start fighting the rat, Transient.
Oh no.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
I'm
What are
gonna
you
use my
inciting
Benny
here?
for this. No, you know what? I'm not going to use my Benny for this. I'm just going to say it and then continue to have the rat menacingly dance them out the door.
Oh God. Not the rat. Anything but that. Stop rhyming me.
On the passive, you most of their passive wills was able to ignore your attempt to ask them to take it outside. But the dancing rat gets close enough to the door where they don't come immediately in as they start wailing on this rat. You can it's almost nonsensical, but the rat being made of metal and dancing is either dodging out of the way from most of the attacks or is bulking most of these metal aluminum baseball bats.
DM, can I roll a technology check to see if this rat will like smash one of the bats with its overtuned pneumatics?
Do it.
Do it. I want to see this happen. Natural 20, please. Fucking take off their bat. Oh.
26.
So for the one with the next lowest of the wills, the one that got the 4 and is taking just a longer time trying to swing while everyone else is just swinging frantically. He has his bat get captured in one of the popping elbow motions, and just watches as his aluminum baseball bat gets crunched as the arm goes down, carrying it with him. So this guy backs up, going to the wall, going, no, dude, this isn't working. The rat's too powerful.
The rat has unlimited power.
Out of DM, I'd like to say that while this is happening, Jason just backed up and is calling Ramon.
Right. As you're dialing, there's a loud, sudden burst of gunfire from the other side of the door. Talia,
Jesus
what's your dialing?
Christ.
And that's when I started blasting. So,
Oh.
how many? So 6 targets, you said?
6 targets.
All right.
Talia
right.
returns for murder.
Street fight.
All right. So I just roll 5 of them because I have a multi-attack 5.
You don't want to catch the bat of this gat rat.
Yes. Let's see, multi-attack 5. I believe that's a damage rating 5 because there's 6 targets. It would be a -6 to what you have. So roll that with a -6 across the board, and for each one that gets hit, we'll adjust from there.
I love so dearly and so deeply that someone's gonna have to report that this gang lost a street fight to a girl with an AK, a dancing rat, and a crippled kid.
The call went out. There's a small cripple at large.
Did you miss me? Let's see. I rolled 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4. I need to roll 2 more.
Yes.
Of course.
All right.
I mean, meanwhile, we're probably on an ayahuasca trip.
Hi, Dahlia. Jason's just
Guess
sitting
we
there,
just
still dialing Ramon.
ungrounded. All
That's
right,
awesome.
and I'm gonna Benny one of those, the one that rolled a 5.
All right. That won't stop you.
So you are aware, the skinless robot is the artist formerly known as Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Excellent.
He's just still dialing Ramon.
Well, so those are. I think I got all of them.
Yes. So you managed to hit each one of them. I'm going to have to roll 6 toughness checks, which they ain't exactly got that much. So we're gonna do this all in one lump. +1 toughness because they're still youthful kids.
A giant skinless mechanical rat and a zombie packing heat versus a gang of delinquents.
And let me double check your damage.
This is gonna be on fucking 4chan forever.
Of course it is.
Oof.
And I was using the assault rifle, which has a DC 20.
I'd like to mention that I don't think 4chan exists right now.
It will shortly after this is uploaded.
It's going to be on Newgrounds for like the next 8 years.
Fair enough.
Did I reference right? Is that old enough?
Yeah.
Actually, I believe at this point all the chans currently exist.
No, October 1st, October 1st, 2003 for 4chan.
Next year, you guys will be a wonderful discussion bit.
While we're discussing this, people are getting shot with an AK.
So its predecessor is currently in existence then.
What up, Pirate Bay? Is Pirate Bay a
Let's
thing
see.
yet?
So none of those, all of those hit, because they did not make a save of DC 20,
Well,
right?
well, I mean, they all. Yes, they all not only hit. 3 of them have gone down completely, not being able to make the check at all. 2 of them, while heavily wounded, like in the shoulder, on 2 of them, are looking dazed and practically unable to keep fighting. One, the leader, looks pissed as he looks back over at you. Oh, no fair! Can't bring a gun to a bad fight! Ah!
Well, that's what you get when you don't send out invites ahead of time. People get confused.
I need to double check if Nevada's a stand your ground state real quick.
And when it came into effect, you have to.
Did
It
you
is a
did
stand
you
your
like your
ground state.
surprise, guys? Did you like it?
Yes.
I loved it. Loved every second of going, oh no, Dahlia's here. Yay! Wait, no. Oh no. Yay, Dahlia's here. Prepare a casket.
To be fair, I had disassociated a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, that's
What?
another female voice.
Hold
Oh,
on a
Dahlia's
second.
back."
Hold on. Okay.
Perfect.
It seems as though Nevada has a very long-standing precedent for stand your ground, in that one of the first articles I found states how it has 140 years of history.
Okay, fair. Yep.
Proud American tradition.
To give you an example of how this starts off, it immediately begins with, in 1871, brawls were not uncommon in Pioche.
That sounds about right.
But
Which-
yeah,
Goodness
Dahlia
gracious.
is legally justified in shooting these people for assaulting the supremacists.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
Attempting
Dahlia,
to
the law
assault this
can't stop you this
premises.
time.
Hello,
Now we have to
you-
question how Dahlia got here while being grounded.
They
Don't
just said they
worry,
got
she got out of
ungrounded them.
Okay,
Ungrounded.
look.
Started tomorrow, but you know,
She got out on good behavior.
well, I got out through the shadows in my closet. But let's not get too hung up on that.
Anyways.
I mean, we're not there.
Dahlia, as you're making this mention, seeing Jace who waves you inside after you go blasting, the Rat Man gang with the three still barely standing start gathering up the horribly injured crew members that are remaining, as the ones who were cowarding out slowly come back with a vehicle to try to gather them inside. We'll be back for this. Just remember this. No one takes this Chucky but us.
I love the idea that Spencer's there the next time they check.
Jay's just taking pictures of all their faces with his BlackBerry as he's talking to Ramon.
You reached the Morality Brigade. What's your emergency? Oh, hey, what's going on, Jays? I didn't know I was on duty today.
There's a gang over in the entertainment center that just tried to run me off my property. I'm sending you pictures of literally all of their faces.
Oh, yep. Man, that is weird seeing faces on this. I'm still not used to taking pictures with it. Okay, yep. I'm still with Dr. Streisand. No, with Officer Streisand. Yep, alright. We'll be on the lookout for them.
I would also recommend calling an ambulance for them potentially whenever you do find them, because Dahlia showed up and has used stand your ground.
How do I explain why we suddenly got started hearing a rattling of what we thought was a vehicle? Noted. All right, I'll keep that to myself and let them know.
Yeah, if you guys need me to give you a rundown so you can write incident reports, I'm here. I'm still working on taking stuff apart and cleaning up.
Oh, definitely. If anything, another officer will be swinging by just to take statements. Just wait for them here shortly, okay?
You got it, man.
I believe Sammy should be with them. Sammy's been having a bit of a hectic time. His family has been giving him grief since the whole Erd thing. Edward's not there, is he?
No, they're off fixing a problem with Wilda's soul. I don't know what they're doing, but it's me and Dahlia right now.
Huh. That's the first time I've ever heard him going religious. I should probably invite him to church next time. Anyway, thanks. as you hear him hang up from there.
Dahlia settles back in the closest vaguely chair-shaped object and uh, puts her safety on her gun and says, "So, what did I miss?"
Well, there was a giant rat attack earlier that Spencer dealt with. There was someone's caused a fire, or rather, a fire happened over at the mine facility. And how do I put this? We're pretty sure someone's going to jail for like 80 OSHA violations. Wilda used the special belt and then had an adverse reaction, and now they've taken her out to the Indian tribe to fix her soul or something. I'm just here watching the base, trying to clean up all of the. Can you restrain the rat?
Who, me? Okay. Dahlia's gonna like wander over and say, "Hey, sorry, buddy," and she's gonna go for the robot, skinless rat.
The skinless rat still popping, locking, still making dancing, still doing the robot. Gives you a high five as you pass by.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. And then she's going to try to grab him, and she does have what's that thing? Where you have, I think it's called fast grab. I'm pretty sure she has that.
Yeah, fast grab's a thing.
Yeah, grabbing finesse. Sorry.
Substitute dex for
And
strength when making grab attacks. Alrighty.
yeah, and improve grab. So she will. And can you tell me which set of stats I'm using?
Let's see. So while it would be a athletics check normally, with you using your will you be more finesse? I would suggest your sleight of hand. For
Oh no, I
dex.
would just roll dexterity, but I've got 2 dexterity values. Which one am I using?
Oh,
How is Dahlia feeling right
a little disassociating. Jason isn't the most familiar face while still being familiar. So go ahead and use your +4. No, +8. Go ahead and use your +8.
now? Okay. Technically a +9 because I'm using
Sorry.
dex, so.
Yes, 9. What did I say?
All right.
Oh
Okay,
no, Dahlia's
yes.
getting hungry again. I'm gonna have to go open the meat locker.
It's not a nice thing to say to your friend.
Is it not
Uh,
accurate though?
no, that's not what's going on.
Okay.
All right, I rolled a 17 to grab.
You managed to grab a hold onto the back of the Robo Chucky. You're having an easy time remaining on, as most of his dancing motions are keeping within his arms and hip motion. A few steps
All
here and
right.
there. So wait, are you riding this Chucky?
Yeah, she's just kind of like grabbing him and holding on. Say, "Okay, I got his arms. What now?"
Can you smash that spot on the back of his neck that looks like a big red button to shut him off?
Yeah. Luckily, I can grab one-handed with my grabbing finesse. And she's going to push the button.
Look, I can grab one hand with my grabbing finesse as she lets one of her hands just wrap around and grab her shoulder, disconnects, and then starts punching on the button while the hand remains holding the other two properly in place.
All right. Once it calms down, Dahlia hops down and uh, pops her shoulder back in.
Go ahead and give me 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay. Unarmed So that would be close fighting.
Yes.
Or wait, no, I have a thing for unarmed, don't I? Uh, don't
So yes,
no,
it'd be
that's burrowing.
close fighting to hit. Unarmed would be your damage.
Okay, so close fighting to hit. Close fighting is. Man, I haven't played this in a long time. Okay, it's a +8. Or actually, no, it's a. Yeah, it is a +8 right now.
Yep.
All right. Oh.
Give me 2 of those.
Nat
Oh, God.
20.
Good lord. She's learning from Spencer.
I'm learning my Nat 20 powers.
All right, so I gotta make 1 toughness and the other and that. Yeah, just 1 toughness roll. 1 toughness for this robot here. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
So for the first strike, as you hit, you missed the button, sort of hit right on top of the head. The robot doesn't seem to be somewhat stopping yet, although it is now positioned down. And as it's positioned down, the red button looks just so enticing to break through that your claws almost tear through it as you slam it, pushing it, and then proceed to break into it further, causing the button to to somewhat jut halfway through the neck of the animatron that you're on. It
Uh,
stops.
I think I broke it.
That's
Sorry.
fine. That's totally fine. We can repair it later if we need to. I don't think we are going to though. Hang on a second. And you wheel back inside, collect basically some sturdy rope, come back out, toss it up to put it around the robot's neck, I guess, and then tie it to the back of his chair to start rolling inside.
Okay, cool.
All right. As you're doing that, Daniel comes out. All right, so I got the fire pit ready, and lynching the robo, are we?
It's not really that. More trying to get it back inside. It did become active, and it helped fight off some street thugs. And now we're going to immolate it.
Is that why I heard gunfire?
Oh no, that was Dahlia. Standard
No,
ground.
that was totally the rat guy. Don't worry about it.
Standard
I am
ground.
on my best behavior, especially if my parents ask.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And he looks
Certainly.
meaningfully at you.
Yeah.
Jace gives a thumbs up and says, "If anybody asks, stand your ground."
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna help Jace with Emily. She's back. She's back.
Why are you freaking out?
She hates people.
She doesn't eat people. She eats raw meat.
Yeah, by the time we're done with them, they're not really people anymore, are they?
Jace just pauses in place and is now concerned.
Yeah, why don't you make like is there insight checks in this?
There is
Roll
indeed
again.
insight checks in this.
Maybe you should roll one of them.
Daniel takes a moment while looking over at Jace, hearing the fourth wall breaking notion of rolling dice to judge whether he's paying attention or not.
Jace isn't making any insight checks. He's just, I'm not going to question that. I'm not going to look any deeper into this. I don't want to know the answer.
An echoing voice in all but Dahlia's head echoes throughout them. She's not wrong.
Oh gosh.
Hmm.
With Daniel's 10 for the insight, he supposes that it's better to remain quiet around the being that could claw through 3-inch thick steel like butter.
And she's also not very smart right now.
Yeah, yeah. got it. Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll make that insight roll here shortly after burning this body. Let's go, Jace. As you guys
All
take the
right.
body over to the fire, we will flicker back over to Spencer, Puddles, and Transient, who are now fully being caught and raptured in this otherworldly sight of different generations of Native Americans all sitting around them, all just enjoying the entire sensation. Some you guys are seeing some of the spirits trying to, well, reach out to the food and taking essentially pieces of the essence of the food out and enjoying that essence. You do see some of the more older generations having arguments with some of the newer generations about what they were keeping true, what was not kept true, and what fell to the wayside about in moving to the afterlife. Well, it's a joyous and very light spirited recollection of this family, of this tribe, as you find yourselves becoming more amiable, amiable,
Amiable?
able to move. As you find like your legs and
Oh
arms
well.
are able to stand and move for you guys. You have the ability to move around, but as you get up and move away from where you were sitting, you look back and your sleeping forms are still there at the center.
And we will have a quick PSA by Rockin' Prime.
Unfortunately, you're in the ayahuasca zone. Rockin' Prime does not know of this space.
Yeah.
So he's our only PSA guy in this entire team.
Yep.
He just senses this stuff.
So back
Momentarily,
at base, he just starts giving a PSA on not doing hard drugs while we're burning a rat to death.
PSA. If you ever find yourself being asked about the vitalities of life and whether there's an afterlife or not, it is better to choose regular life and not try to comprehend the other side. For everyone has their own versions of the afterlife, and trying to find a matching version usually leads to arguments. And arguments are not so happy upon people's souls. Keep your soul happy. Don't argue.
Daniel, I think you're right. There's something wrong with the robots in this place. We should go get the rest of the band and burn them to be safe.
The robots?
Yeah, we're in the process of retrofitting the Chuck E. Cheese. We're gonna turn it into a video game store.
Cool. I like video games.
And if it all works out, you can use it as a cover job.
Sweet.
Anyways, want to help us burn the rest of these animatronics?
I love fire. Yeah.
Anyways, back in the ayahuasca zone.
Yep.
Back into the spirit realm. So as you start finding that you're more able to walk away from your bodies, you hear a distant voice calling out to you, Wilda. As I would need a perception check from you, please.
Yes. I also want to know what transient looks like. In this zone.
You keep as you guys start looking at each other's souls. Had to stall food being, yeah, I feel that. As you stare at each other's soul manifest into a form past your bodies, Edward has this strange double shade where there's this pale silhouette of Edward that seems to have a different swirl of colors to around him. There is this heavy red shadow that that mimics the same appearance, but is like 3 3 inches back and maybe 2 inches to the side, causing this weird off optical illusion. You know how when you try to look at 3D movies without the 3D glasses,
Oh yeah.
that's what you're getting from Edward. It's just instead of just red and blue, it's red and multicolor. Edward, you are free to give yourself more physical descriptions for your soul. This is what I remember what we agreed that your soul would, for the color wise, would look like.
Let's see here. Sorry. Yeah, I am not prepared for this. My brain was. It's on all.
I am prepared for this.
All right. Well, if you need a few more seconds, I'll shift over to Wilda. Wilda's form, as everyone can see, is. Did we agree it was like a bright blue or a bright pink? When
We didn't
When you were
agree
looking
on a
at-
soul type.
we just agreed there was a crack.
Yes.
So, if feel free to disagree, as we're still being amiable about this. Wilda's form is a strange semblance of sharp angles like that of ice and flowing motion like that of a river or water. But in the center, going from her shoulder down to where the core would be, there seems to be this very jagged, missing piece. The the sharp parts turn as she turns, whether at the same but turn as she turns, but do not stop turning. The the flowing motions will move, but will continue to move when she pauses. Feel free to add or change anything to that, Wilda.
No, I wanted ice and water fighting each other, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to capture that. Once more, fine tune it if you like.
Nope, we're good. What does Spencer look like since he's here?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it
Do you have a
is.
commission for us to see?
Oh man, I
As
am.
you As you
Right.
gaze over at Spencer's forum, and Spencer, did you post something?
Yes.
Check.
I'm about to, however. Give me just a second. I'm trying to get Discord to cooperate with me. Oh man.
Neon
Really
Cat has been posted. Everyone. Neon Cat has been posted.
Sure, it's been posted, but that's not exactly what he looks like. Give me a moment. Discord, please cooperate with me. Okay, that's fair enough. So, let me. Ah, this is perfect, actually. I have the perfect picture for this. Let me just post this. Just imagine this exact figure, but without the without the sword. Maybe with the sword. We'll see. But for now, heroic examples, is that good?
Yes.
So Spencer doesn't look like a cat right now. He kind of has the features of a cat, cat ears, a little bit of a tail, but mostly he looks like a imagine the most plain-looking person if you could sculpt them out of pure clay with just the features of a vaguely male figure with let's say 2 pairs of wings. Like this. It's essentially what Spencer looks like right now, and he's glowing, I would say, somewhat gold, with a hot yellow center where his heart should be. It is, in fact, heart-shaped.
Let me see it. All right. Now to add on the other effects.
Oh boy, there's more. I didn't know
So-
that.
Well, it pertains to your personal storyline. But so with the golden form, and I take it with the wings or without the wings?
With the wings.
with the wings. You see where Spencer would normally be standing and somewhat jumping around. There is this there's a stalwart gold figure looming right next to you both. And alongside this heart of gold that beats periodically is this swirling, shadowy, yet wonderfully fuzzy mass that looks up and around constantly. Spencer. And Spencer.
Yes. Spencer and Spencer.
There is no real face on the golden mass, but Spencer's face is constantly shifting all around the main body, around the golden heart, looking around, soaking in the event that's going on. Puddles, as you're looking around and gathering the new images from your friends and uh, yourself, you recognize that the voice calling out to you happens to be a young woman from your past. Your grandmama.
Oh goodness, Grandma.
By all
Sorry.
means, if you have a nick. Go ahead.
No, I read hashtags. I shouldn't have. My grandmother's calling for me.
I would like to say that when Spencer talks, you can hear it from in the chest, but that's about it. It's just, really? Well, where is she? Looks out to try and see where she is.
The head sort of the head of the golden figure sort of looks at the same direction you're trying to look at, but the face of Spencer is like going all over at in the general top of the chest, trying to get a good view of what you're looking at.
Oh, yes.
When Transient speaks, it seems to be a variety of different pitches and different tones. Not unified, and it's sort of a discordant sound. Though behind it there seems to be a harmonious chord that designates a sort of a shadow voice to it. And to expand upon our GM's explanation of how Transient looks, the primary form he has is made up of all kinds of shapes and bits and pieces that don't seem to quite fit into a humanoid figure, but the Red Echo is a perfect humanoid figure. Or both of them are roughly the size of Transient's actual body. I will follow your lead, Wilda.
Okay. I keep holding their hands because we were holding hands. And
Yes.
lead them towards my grandmother.
As you follow the voice to your grandmother, the surrounding scenery swirls as you see the multitude of spirits change from the Navajo and the Shoshones that are around here to a different set of spirits. Though some almost recognizable, but none that come up in passing. Transient as you do pass, some of your edict memory kicks off as you recognize some of these people that have recently passed, whether by old age or bad poisoning, murder, accidents. But they all seem to be
AK-47 wielded by zombie.
Oh goodness. You are able to pick up that the further you walk away from the party, the more the scenery is changing as you're following this voice. As you're following Wilda's lead, as she's trying to follow her grandmother's voice. I will need a perception check from all three of you now.
Understood.
As the voice, as Wilda, the voice that you're hearing is starting to get drowned out by more of the wailings, different conversations. Some of the as you guys are trying to follow it, you're passing through some of the spiritual groups nearby. You're seeing different shades of different colors, different shapes of different humanoids.
We're on point, Jesus.
We are.
Very much so.
It was all 17 on the die.
All three of us rolled 17 on the die, and all of us got 20 or
Ayahuasca
higher.
synchronization.
We are currently enjoying a hell of a drug.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do
Okay.
drugs.
Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Crush your vegetables. Wait.
So, despite all the cacophony of noises and the different spirits trying to garner your attention and trying to pull you away, with you remain steadfast on following your grandmother's voice, but notice that there are now other voices calling out to it. One voice sounds like a cat, but the meaning behind the call, come hither, seems to follow suit. Spencer, you feel a strong vibe with this voice that calls out in the cat-like tone.
Do I understand what it's saying?
Yes, Spencer. And you get a better general sense of what they're saying, where the other two are just getting this "come hither" vibe. You were getting "follow my voice, this way, find your path, stay close, don't stray away."
I'm going to ask back in as best I can. Is this the way to Wilda's grandmother?
The voice only continues to loop or to respond the same way, calling you as you guys get closer.
Question.
Transient. Go ahead.
Is it calling me specifically or calling all of us?
Calling all of you.
And we're headed in that direction?
Yes. You're, as you approach, as Willa starts getting closer to her grandmother's source of voice, this next voice picks up in chorus and saying the same thing. This way, follow me. At least in a way, because once more, cat language. The other two don't specifically understand cat, but
I will
the sense
translate
of the
slightly, and I will go. There's another
Thing
voice.
about this,
Go ahead.
I know fun thing about this. Cats don't normally meow in nature, except a mama kitten to her kittens to call to them and to respond to them, which is really literally a sort of come here, and so they sort of like Marco Polo almost. So the only way you would know this call would be if your mama was talking to you.
Yes. Why do you think I'm trying to translate?
But it's actually based in reality too. That's a really cool detail, Ace.
Thank you.
I'm going to call out as Spencer. I'm going to go. But there's someone calling my name. It sounds like another cat. Familiar.
Wilda and Edward, you do hear Spencer say this. Edward, while you're not hearing a voice calling out to you, you're able to pick up specific lights that are directing you. The lights almost seem to shimmer in the same fashion that your shapes are changing. Blue gives off a triangular vibe, red gives off a square vibe, and yellow gives off a circular vibe. and for each time you guys are following it, you're getting this more circular vibe constantly. Yeah, every time you take a misstep or mistake a call out and start accidentally walking that way, you immediately get the red squares or the blue triangles, and you find yourself somewhat correcting them in order to stay on the track of the yellow circles that seem to be giving you this sense of pulling, this sense of calling. As you guys follow the calling that seems to be of separate yet similar, conjoining, the environment leaves the desert sands entirely as you find yourselves walking upon starlight, and the skies stop being their soft blues and turn into this wondrous nebula.
Wow.
It in the nebula, once you've crossed this point, the voices stop. There is almost still silence here as the vastness of the cosmos spans before you all. I will need another perception check from everyone. Transient, go ahead and gain a +5 given your current state of being. Spencer, you get a +5 as well given your current state of being.
Yes, sir.
Man, it keeps putting me.
Oh no, Benny.
Yeah, I think it's time for Benny. My second Benny of the night.
Natural
sorry.
20. Oh my god. That's another +5, so at least a 30.
Okay, 24.
With your rolls, you get you're viewing this cosmos. You almost get lost in which direction is north as you're turning around viewing it. When the the dual shade of transient points upwards, the the misassembled of shapes following the silhouette of a red hand, all pointing at the same time towards one particular star. Transient, you recognize this as the North Star. As you're able to draw out the constellation of the Big Dipper off of it. In your tracing of it, the stars themselves seem to somewhat weave and give the lines to your tracing, building the Big Dipper for a moment to show that this cosmos is reacting towards your unique, unique pull, your recognition. As you point out north, Spencer, almost feeling a natural pull, takes while holding Wilda's hand, leads you both towards the east of the North Star. He seems to fly with you in tow, and you glide through this nebula almost with ease. Spencer, you cannot exactly tell how you know this path. It is, but as you're traveling through the stars, it almost seems like the golden being or that is you naturally knows its way through the side. And as you all are being guided by Spencer, that's when Wilda, of all the things for you to see, you see this rainbow bridge just start jutting out from beneath you. And as Spencer's getting ready to fly off the bridge, you manage to pull him back as though you naturally, with what little knowledge you remember of your father talking about your religion, his beliefs, You recognize this Rainbow Bridge leading up to the Valhalla and Asgard, where it would be guarded by Heimdall. And so, with that knowledge, you manage to pull them and you start guiding them, following down the Rainbow Bridge as it leads up towards this vast and majestic gate, gray and yet shining at the same time. Through this vast gate, you cross the threshold, all three of you. Your spirits gaining a sense of warmth and relief to be out from the nebula. I need to make one roll real quick.
I wonder who's crossing the threshold first.
As you look back towards the threshold, there is a moment where the nebula seems almost beautifully quiet, nothing. And then there's a sudden body of unrecognizable imagery, consistency, anything that just passes through. Not into, but passes through in front of the gate and darts past. You can't, while you watched it pass, you can't tell how many limbs it could have. You can't tell how big this thing is. You just know that it's big enough to block the gates that you've just passed through, which was grander and bigger than any of the casinos you guys have seen. Bigger than the mine. There is another minute before the body that you're watching finally passes on, and disappears out of view. As you turn back, there is now a tall figure, gilded in armor, helm pointed, strong chiseled, chin just jutted straight forward towards the gate, looking past you. Sword impaled into the ground, standing tall and waiting. How will y'all respond?
Fuck, he was
So-
right.
It's just staring at us, right?
Staring past.
Possibly.
So, did he ask a question? Sorry, I lost connection for a second.
Not yet. He did not ask a question. He is remaining quiet and stalwart.
I see.
And Wilda said, fuck, Dad was right.
Spencer is going to go ahead and ask the following: Is the voice here from the cat, or where are we?
Well, we just got out the Bifrost.
What?
Rainbow Bridge into heaven, basically.
We're in heaven?
Someone's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
Hey,
Dad.
heaven.
Huh.
There are many heavens in this region, past me. One for any soul that makes it there. But for you three, there will be no passage, for it is not your time.
Yeah.
Speak what brings you to the Rainbow Bridge, to the gates of Asgard, to the gates of heaven.
Well, we were following my grandmother's voice.
We were trying to repair our friend's soul, as I gesture to Wilda.
I see. you seek her. A familiar spirit.
I am just trying to find what will heal this. It's very painful.
Scar in the soul is almost forever. But there are always ways to heal scars. If you come seeking to heal it, he moves a large hand over towards the side. A side you all weren't sure was exactly there. Proceed here and speak with her, the lady in black. But know she may not make any request easy.
Who
Long
is
gets. Go ahead.
who is the lady in black?
Her name simply is Betty. Respect it and listen to what she wants. She has been around even longer than I have. I know now what trails inside that old bone of hers.
Well, the kind of shrinks in size.
The soft breathing actually is so rhythmic, it feels like it's the past spacing of
Yeah.
the cosmos in front of the Bifrost Gate. I love it. Thank you, Transient. Wonderful atmosphere.
As he's just like staring like, the fuck? Okay, I guess we'll go see the woman in black now.
Black Betty, bow down.
As you turn towards the indicated gate, there is a simple old wooden door there with a rope handle.
Okay, let's go.
Spencer will lead the way.
Let's hope any deal we make doesn't cost us too much.
You mean like money?
Like favors.
Like mowing the lawn?
Like taking somebody else's soul in place.
As you approach the door, once more, a decent sized door, almost average on hand, definitely large enough for all three of you to somewhat squeeze through. But it would be more practical for y'all to walk through one by one.
I'll walk in first.
As you pull the door handle with the rope handle, it resists your pull, even with your strength. Go ahead and give me a active strength check.
Okay. That is a 26, DM.
A rope handle should be nothing to bat at. You pulled on doors made of stronger stuff, of steel, of metal, and yet with all the force that you're wrenching with in your golden body, and with as much will that you're pulling, it is remaining in the wall.
You need to push. It's one of those push doors.
We're gonna try and push it.
Oh, God. Another strength check.
This is a nat 20. No, it's not. It's a 16.
Oh.
It is a definite pull door. As you attempt to push, it does not budge. If anything, it seems more sturdier being pushed than it was being pulled.
Maybe
I'm gonna
Spencer.
step to the
Maybe.
side then.
I need to open it.
I'm gonna step to the side, like I said.
Okay. I go pull it open.
As you reach for it, the rope almost dampens in your watery grip. But as your grip tightens and forms the ice around the rope, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay. 16.
As you pull, you hear the door creak and whine, but something is still holding it in place. It is definitely wedged in. Does Transient also want to give a hand?
I don't think it's gonna be a one or a two-person job. I think all three of us need to pull.
I'm gonna get back in position then.
Or you can go find your friends and all of us.
Okay. Let's give
With
it a
all
go then.
with all three grabbing at the same time and giving a gentle pull, the door not only yields, but it yields effortlessly, as though it was made to be pulled by three. The door opens towards you, and as it fully widens, the scenery once more changes in a blinding flash of white light. As we return back over to the base at the Chuck E. Cheese, the robots are currently being melted in due process, except for Rocket Prime, whom you are still sitting in at the moment, who has been actively giving reassurance that there is an update in progress to maintain better frequency of PSAs and fighting styles, skills. Don't delete me.
Rockin' Prime, you're not the one I'm worried about being possessed. I gave you sentience. You're supposed to be smart. They, on the other hand, horrible melting Chuck E. Cheese amalgamation.
Dahlia is like just grabbing metal and just like chucking it into the fires. Like she's buffer than you remember. She must have been working out.
Daniel and Stringent, while helping with the disposal of the robots, are keeping some paces away. Daniel more than Stringent just because he understands that, haven't been able to have a proper sit down. There's probably still some cross feelings. Daniel does not want to mess up with the one being that can probably steal his chip.
Thalia, did you spend the entire time you were grounded working out?
No, I was like, it was something important. And I was thinking really hard. But it doesn't seem that important, really.
Can you come over to the training area? I need to see if your punch is any stronger than before. I need to see how many Spencers your punch is.
Oh, okay. Which one's the training area?
I will lead her back to the training room, open it up, and then press a few buttons to activate the danger room.
Surprisingly, as you approach the danger room, it's currently being in use. As you peer inside, it looks like Des is actively doing practice grappling training with one of the similar robots. Strangely enough, it's designed like Matt, of all people.
Okay, we're gonna find a different room to practice your punch in. That seems like something
I
personal.
remember him. He tasted delicious.
More concerned, but Jace is not going to insight. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could comprehend the Eldritch Horror. I'm not going to.
I do not see it. All right.
Jay's
Well,
just
where does he
quiet.
take her?
Jay's gonna take her to the lab this time and just kind of have one of the back walls transition it to be a punch plate. Basically, it's one of those workstations where you can switch it around by going to a wall and flipping a panel, so the whole wall turns.
Dahlia just kind of stares at it blankly.
Okay. You see this black panel right here in the center. It is currently rated for 3 out of 10 Spencers. Would you like to punch it?
Why would I want to punch it?
I need to see if you're stronger or not, because it seems like you got stronger while you were away.
Okay. And so do you just want her to punch a few times to get an average, or?
Just throw a punch. I don't. He's just looking to see generally.
Okay. So unarmed is a +8. DC 17. I assume I'm still at a +8.
Yes. At the current moment, yes. It
Okay.
is still +8.
21.
Does she break the 3 out of 10 Spencer plate?
Double checking. Remind me to this. Let me double check the toughness of the Spencer plates as I prepare to roll.
I
believe
don't
we-
know if we have a rating for the toughness of Spencer plates. We've just been using Spencers as a metric system for a while.
10 Spencers is 1 whole Spencer, so it's 1/3 of a Spencer.
What's
Alright, so we'll-
Spencer's plus? What's Spencer's modifier?
Oh lord. Currently,
My
to do-
crit modifier for strength,
Yeah,
Yeah.
unarmed.
9.
it's a
Mm.
9.
Yeah.
So
So
the Spencer plate definitely explodes then, and Jace is like, that was
Well,
for
I mean-
3 out of 10 Spencers.
It still
What-
needs to make its own toughness check as it's being struck on. So with
Okay,
a
let's do it.
+9, there is a big crack in it, but from the initial punch, it is not broken. It is still sturdy. There's just a heavy crack in it. She strikes hard.
That was rated for 3 out of 10 Spencers. You are stronger. Now I gotta see how you do against the higher Spencer plates. Hang on, let me.
From
He-
your
he's-
cur-
Go ahead.
from your current reading at seeing the crack from the initial punch, she is definitely rating just below a Spencer. 1 Spencer. Which
a
given
full Spencer,
how-
not a Spencer plate.
Yes. Just 1 Spencer, not a full Spencer not a full 3 Spencer plate.
It
That-
seems like your current strength rating, Dahlia, is 9.2 out of 10 Spencers.
9.2 out of 9.2 of 10 of a Spencer.
Is that good?
Do you know all the ridiculous stuff Spencer can do with his strength?
I think so.
You can
As-
do 92% of that.
Okay.
As you recall, the multiple times of being given a ride as he carries 3 other bodies in tow. The time he lifted up a vehicle on sheer nature. The time he phased through a wall.
Huh.
Okay, maybe you can't do that, but
Oh, those aren't the strength related ones.
Technically, she could still phase through a wall. She just uses her nails more.
That's not
There's-
phasing.
There's technically phasing through a wall, and there's manually phasing through a wall. Spencer does it technically. Dahlia does it manually.
I do both manual and technical.
Do you want me to break that? Because I could break it.
No, that's fine. I'm glad we've got the new reading. That'll be helpful. Because while you were away, I designed a bunch of special suits for us that can disguise as other various clothing types.
She just like blinks at you.
Okay, so imagine you're just wearing your normal clothes. You have a wristwatch. You touch the wristwatch. Suddenly you're in your hero suit.
But I don't wear a hero suit.
Right.
You
Okay,
almost
think of it this way. Imagine you're in your school uniform. You're wearing a wristwatch. You touch the wristwatch. Suddenly you're in your street clothes.
I want one.
Okay.
as you're describing this, and as she's trying to picture this, Daniel does come around with one of the watches and helps simulate by going from schoolgirl outfit to proper military attire.
He's wearing a schoolgirl outfit, and Dahlia doesn't even comment on it.
We're so far beyond that being weird for this group.
This
is
is
like
just a Tuesday.
This is 4 chapters too late for that to be weird.
Far too late, especially since we already confirmed that they're one of the few trans in there. But anyway,
But yeah, give it a try. Play around with it. Just think of whatever you want your outfit to look like, press button, and it should change.
Oh. Okay. And she is going to put it on and push the button. And she's wearing clothes that are shredded and like hanging off of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking down at us and says, "Oh, my clothes."
I'm not sure that's how you. Is that what you wanted to wear? Just shredded clothing, or
She just stares. Wait, no, that's not right. And then
right?
she pushes it again. And she's wearing the clothes in one piece again.
Hey, it works.
I mean, there is other styles and other, settings. Have you tried? I don't know, preparing for something for the wedding?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. We are in stares at watch. 5.5 hours, assuming the others get back from whatever they're doing, planning to go pseudo crash my elder sister's wedding.
Dahlia grins and reaches for her gun.
No, we're not hurting people. We're not hurting people except maybe my parents, but just them.
She hesitates and then tries to reach for the gun again.
Keep it in the back pocket.
She actually, like, for a second tries to, like, put the assault rifle in a pocket and realizes it won't work. And then, like, tries to cram it in her backpack.
I love the idea of her going to put it in her back pocket. Ah, damn, it won't fit. Presses watch, makes a bigger back pocket, puts the assault rifle in the back pocket anyways.
Well,
Immediately
maybe
evolves
she
to
has
Jinko
to abide
jeans.
by physics, right? So maybe she does have, like, an infinite pocket.
Just
Time or
immediately,
space.
immediately switches to the Jinko jeans with the infinite pocket space in the back. They look a little manly, but you pull it off just fine as you deep pocket the assault rifle.
I'm sorry, friend, but I'm gonna have to banish you to the Jenko dimension.
Wait! Ah! Oh, cool, Candy. Were you planning on going to the movies?
But yeah, we're assuming they come back and they're not dead or something. We're gonna try and go to the wedding because I need to have a long conversation with my parents about why they're bad parents.
And then we shoot them.
Depending on how it goes. However, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dahlia. Knowing how every event we go to so far has been, you're probably gonna get to shoot something regardless.
She
There is a
smiles,
sudden, there's a
and
sudden banging.
her teeth are jagged.
Oh God. There's a sudden banging coming from down the hall as Stringent calls out, "Daniel, your fire pit's overtaking the rest of the building. Calm it down." Oh geez. What's the fire suppression system here?
Jace pulls the fire alarm lever and the fire suppression system goes off. We keep it up to code, Daniel.
Right. Not unlike that one place that just got put out today, right?
Yes. No Jerry's in the building.
Man, how long did they go without proper water system? I mean, one thing not to have a it's one thing to not have a fire extinguisher, but no sprinklers even.
I would like to inform Dahlia of Jerry's many crimes against OSHA.
So, while you were away, Dolly, for the quick synopsis, they not only went to go deal with a collapsing processing plant at the mining facility, they found that this collapsing processing plant had no fire safety equipment, no fire sprinklers, no fire extinguishers, no fire drop doors in order to keep the fires from spreading to other places. So much flammable items all over the place, and half the things weren't even properly sealed. It was a nightmare scenario. Thankfully, there was no explosions.
Us? But with no explosions?
Well, there was gonna be an explosion, and then Wilda put on the belt and froze everything. So I guess technically an anti-explosion?
You hear Rock and Prime pipe up from behind you, and everyone!
She did freeze the people too, but none of them died from it.
Frostbite was a horrible experience.
Jace thinks a moment. I didn't give him the ability to feel frostbite. I'm not gonna question it. I don't need that question answered, actually. I'm not going to look into that. The lesson Jace has learned from this group is don't fucking ask.
He's about right.
Just ignore the fact that there is a thermostat on there. What have you done to me? Meanwhile, in the afterlife, hashtag unlike Jerry, hashtag proper firefighting systems, hashtag DM has violated OSHA laws. And I'll do it again to give you guys something to do.
Meanwhile, in the ayahuasca dimension.
As you got. All right, so to wrap up session, back at the spirit dimension.
The ayahuasca dimension.
The shades of light do seem to start receding back as you find yourselves in a more humble abode. A familiar looking house, but definitely made in an older time. The door's open. There's several windows. It looks like a proper two-story house sitting in the middle of a decent land area. You can't tell. Everything gets a bit blurry past the white picket fence.
Spencer's gonna make his way to the house
I'm not gonna.
with both of them in tow.
I'm not gonna say this is weird, but this is weird.
As
No,
your
it's
spiritual-
pretty normal.
As your spiritual forms do start getting closer towards the door as you walk by, perception checks real quick. I'm being added at so much right now.
Oh my god, I did hashtag.
Yes, you did. You're getting used to it.
There you go,
Like get a
16.
+5 for my previous roll. Wait, no, that's wrong. My bad. +3. That's a 16.
So, Transient actually misses this on his part, being more enraptured with the material that the house is actually made of. Despite it looking plain, the sidings are actually made of gold. The simple wood-like pillars are actually ivory as you feel them. Your uh, your assemblage of shapes and colors touch one of the windows, only to find that it's not just glass, but there is a fine crystalline formation as your fingertips in both sense glide across it. As you're watching Transient like inspect the building, both yours and Spencer's eyes will land upon the mailbox, and in your mind of mind, it is strikingly odd that of all the places you find yourself walking towards, following the familiar voices, entering the Bifrost, seeing Heimdall, the next place you last expect to visit would be some place out in a midwestern area on a at a home owned by the Blake family.
Oh boy.
And that is where we'll end session for today.
I see. Wonderful. Betty Blake. I wonder who that could be.
Now, Ace, I've said it in general chat, so you've been forewarned. If Jehovah's Witnesses show up, Dahlia's answering the door.
Yeah, I rolled with my flat dexterity instead of like my total dex plus my shooting. So actually, I should have been rolling plus 14, and that was after the -6 for all 6 of those rolls.
Oh damn! Let me double check.
Can you even have a +20 at this level?
Yep.
Yeah, I have 11 additional. I have 11 ranks in ranged combat, and then
have-
I get a +9 for my ability.
I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. However,
Yeah.
I am currently being drugged out of my fucking gourd.
Dahlia,
Dahlia
I would
can
like
help
to.
with that. Let me just get this pistol and.
Dahlia,
I don't
I
think it
will.
would do
I will
much.
gladly hand you the crown because I think you now have the highest modifier for a roll. Because my highest is 18.
This is strictly for shooting, but yeah, she has the highest with a +20.
What's the DC on that fucking save there?
Depends which gun.
I'm not
But
sure you're allowed to carry more than 15 firearms are you at once. I'm sure there's a law against that.
Well, unfortunately, she has access to the Jenko dimension.
yeah. Let's see. DC's for the assault rifle is 20. And for the heavy pistol, it's 19.
Whatever happened to being
And
a fucking hero?
what?
Spencer, you guys have barely been heroes since the time you rescued me.
What are you
you
talking about? We're
kidding me?
anti-heroes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Spencer's the
Spencer-
only one that's an actual hero in this entire game so far.
Jace is close, but he's not there because obviously.
You aneurysmed many people to almost death, Jace. I'm not sure that
Well,
counts
no,
as
I
being
didn't
a hero.
aneurysm them to death. I aneurysmed them to unconsciousness, which also isn't good, but it could be worse.
I didn't say it was death. I said it was almost death. Anyways, thanks
I
for stopping
Batmaned
by.
them.
Thanks for
Our
stopping by and
first
enjoying our
fight,
game.
I killed a cultist by eating him.
I'm not gonna remember that because I chose to block it out and put it in the vault.
Well,
To
it
be
has been
fair,
taken.
to be fair, you came in from the back. She did that at the front. You didn't get to see that.
Yes, I didn't, and I'm not going to remember it either.
Spencer unrepressing everything.
We once more thank everyone for joining us here at Session. I hope you all had fun, and do join us back in 2 weeks, and see you all next time.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.
Adios.